Hi, my name is Bekah. Welcome to my video series, Everyday English Every Day. Here we have authentic conversations with real people. You need to be consistent with your learning, so be sure to practice at least 10 minutes a day, every day. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the George Floyd protests. When people protest, it's because they are against something. They are trying to show support of something during a protest. We're going to listen to a conversation I had with my Eckerd College friend, Alex. Now, I decided to message Alex to see if he wanted to talk with me because I wanted to know his feelings. I wanted to hear his ideas about what's going on. And during our conversation, he used lots of phrasal verbs. So we're going to focus on those phrasal verbs for the English language portion of the video. We're also going to check out the verb to stew. Okay, so I decided to reach out to Alex because as a person who has experienced white privilege my entire life, I don't know what to do. And I know that it's time to gain more knowledge, to learn about what's happening, to learn about systematic racism so that I can be an anti-racist and work against these kinds of systems. So I think right now my job is to learn and listen, and therefore I asked him if he would talk with me so that I could learn about his perceptions and his perspectives and his point of view. So during our conversation, I want you to pick out the following phrases. Now, he's going to be talking about how he felt this last week is when George Floyd was murdered by a policeman on the street, and it was recorded for everyone to watch. And he's going to talk about how he felt during that time and also for all the protests that are now happening because of this incident and because of a lot of incidents that have happened over, God only knows, so long. We talked on May 31st, 2020, and he's talking about really his feelings from that Friday and Saturday, May 29th and May 30th, 2020. So during our conversation, I want you to pick out these phrases to practice, okay? So let's practice the phrases together. Repeat after me. Looked at all of it. Reached out to me. Tripping out. Chilled out. Popped on the news. Be around people. Get it out. Spiraled downhill. Burnt that place to the ground. Pull the American flag down. Okay, let's listen to this part of our conversation together. Remember, after you hear these phrases, it's a good idea to pause the video and repeat them. Again.
Saturday morning, like I wasn't working, and then it overwhelmed me for like the first, I got out of bed at 8 o'clock, and by 9 o'clock I was crying. I was just like, like how, there's just so many questions, and I hadn't even looked at all of it yet. And then a lot of people reached out to me on Facebook, which was great because I posted like a SOS mouse, like everybody send me stuff because I am tripping out and there's nowhere to go. And then I like kind of chilled out. I was kind of like a baby, like, how babies cry a bunch and then like they get tired after that. Like I totally like got tired and took a little like hour-long nap. And I woke up at 3 and I popped on the news and I was like, there was a protest going on in La Mesa, which is 6 miles from here. And I was like, weighing, like after just everything I'd seen and everything I was worried about, I was like, am I going to be safe to do? Like, I don't know if I should go. And then I sat there and thought, I'm going to regret this if I don't get it. Like, I need this outlet because I am angry. I'm not going to break stuff. I want to break stuff. I want to throw stuff, but I need to be around people who have this same emotion because I need to get it out because I'm just sitting here stewing, staring at my cat. I need to get out. And so I drove out there and I went. And I left right on time because right after I left, it spiraled downhill and they burnt that place to the ground. It's gone now. Like when I was out there, we were outside.
So what, all buildings there? Where was it? In a downtown
there were like
area?
So it was like another borough, but it was like more of a suburban borough. It's called La Mesa, and we were standing outside of a police station. And there were a lot of us, and we were, I put up a lot of pictures and whatnot. People were chanting, and things were fine, and no police were outside at all. But the whole game changed when, in the front of the police station on the steps, they got a flag up of America, the American flag, and they've got the flag up of, the bear for California, and somebody pulled the American flag down.
Okay, so let's look a little more at what all these phrasal verbs mean. Okay, remember, a phrasal verb is when you have a verb with a preposition, right? You use them together. There are some phrasal verbs that have to be used together, and there's some that you can separate and put words in between. Phrasal verbs are impossible to learn because there's so many of them. It's something that comes in time with conversation. This is definitely something to learn little by little. As you hear and understand more and more in English, you'll pick more up, okay? You'll understand and be able to use more. This is why also watching TV shows and movies is really good, because it's a way to really hear phrasal verbs in everyday conversation, and that helps us be able to retain them and hopefully use them in the future. So don't go trying to memorize all the phrasal verbs, because that's useless, I think, in my opinion. Okay, so just so many questions, and I hadn't even looked at all of it yet. When you look at something, like I could say, oh, I'm looking at my notes, okay? We're focusing our attention. We're using our sight on something. I can look at my children swimming in the pool. A lot of people reached out to me on Facebook. When you reach out to something, like I reach for something, maybe I can say, oh, I'm reaching for my coffee cup, okay? When you reach out to someone, you're connecting with them, contacting them so that maybe you can talk. So he said people reached out on Facebook. Earlier, I said I reached out to him. I saw that SOS he posted. SOS represents help. And it made me think, wow, I really want to talk with Alex and, hear from him and listen and let his voice be heard. So I reached out to him on Facebook too. Everybody send me stuff because I am tripping out. Okay, so he reached out to people on Facebook and said, everybody send me stuff because I'm tripping out. Cuz is short for because. When you're tripping out, it's like you're kind of going crazy. It's kind of like freaking out. So I might say, if my children are going a little crazy, I might be like, calm down, don't trip out, don't freak out, right? Relax. And then I kind of chilled out. When you chill out, you relax. Okay, so he said he was really upset, right? He was listening to all of this and he was crying and emotional. And then he kind of chilled out, right? Because it kind of was exhausting. When we get really upset, we feel exhausted. And he referred to being a baby, right? When babies are upset about something, they cry. And then what do? They fall asleep. So I could tell my children if they're going crazy, hey, chill out. It's like, relax. I popped on the news. For here, he means like he turned it on. right? So when you pop something on, it's like you're starting it, but like as in turning on, right? Pop on the TV for me. Put it on for me. I need to be around people who have the same emotion. To be around someone is like to be next to them. Right? I like to be around my friends because I feel like they give me a lot of support. I need to get it out. I need to get it, referring to this emotion inside of me, out. When you get something out, you release it. Okay? So he wanted to be with like-minded people, with people that feel the same way he's feeling, right? And then that would help him kind of like, you know, get through this emotion and release it so it doesn't just build up inside. Right after I left, it spiraled downhill. So a spiral, right, is like in a circle. So when it goes downhill, it's like getting worse. So that's when the violence started during the protest. In the beginning, it was a peaceful protest. They burnt that place to the ground. Now, to burn something to the ground is like to burn it down. Okay, to burn something down means it no longer exists anymore. The place is destroyed because of the fire. The whole game changed when somebody pulled the American flag down. So when you pull the flag down, you take it down, right? We can pull something or push something. They pulled the flag down from the top of the flagpole. So they were talking about, or Alex was talking about how it was peaceful. They were in front of a police station. There were no cops, no policemen. But once the flag went down, then the police came out and then things started to get more violent. Now, he said, it overwhelmed me. Right? If you're overwhelmed, you're inundated, you're overpowered, you're devastated, okay? It's a lot of emotion. To feel overwhelmed is like, it's just too much. I'm going to regret this if I don't go. So Alex thought, this could get dangerous before he decided to go to the protest. But he said, man, if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it. I'm going to think in the future, man, why did I not go? I need this outlet because I'm angry. So an outlet is like a way to express yourself. Okay, now in my house, I have outlets that I stick maybe when I'm charging my phone, I can plug it into an outlet. Okay, so we also use that word in that way. Here, he's like almost like he's using the protest as a way to release this anger as an outlet. I need to be around people who have the same emotion because I need to get it out because I'm just sitting here stewing. Now, for a little more, we're going to talk about that verb to stew. Now, a stew is a kind of food. It's a food that I cook maybe with some meat and vegetables in a liquid, and I cook it slowly over a period of time. So stewing is kind of like the idea of something like inside of you cooking, right? It's like building up over time, slowly. To stew means to brood, to think deeply about something angrily. Okay, so it's not a positive feeling if you're stewing, it has a negative connotation. It's like to be in a state of suppressed agitation, worry, or resentment, right? It's negative. They are still stewing about what happened last week. They're still upset about it, right? It's still there. It's still a problem. All right, guys, we will continue with more parts of my conversation with Alex next week. I'll be making a couple more videos about his experience. I think it's important to share and listen to each other during this difficult time, this time of hopefully great change. If you like my videos, give me a like and subscribe to my channel. New videos are posted on Mondays. comment below, ask me questions. You can email me too if you have any questions or want any more information. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope to see you all soon, and check out my other videos having to deal with being an anti-racist and also racial equality. All right, guys, have a good one. They're in the links below. Bye-bye.